Hi, this is Kramer from Talent Home Solution, and we are here to prepare for our entrance exam for IGCSE Computer Science 9th and 10th grade. Okay, the first topic here, what we are going to take is the hardware. So we are going to talk about computer hardware. So basically, when we talk about computer hardware, in computer hardware, we have various devices mainly categorized into input and output and the main part of the computer. Let's talk about first input and output devices that we have. We have various input devices where the computer can take input, for example, keyboard or mouse, and we have other devices for output where computer can give the output. So your screen monitors, or your printers or your speakers, all these are nothing but your output devices. Now we spoke about input, we spoke about output. Then we have the main part of the computer, which is consist of the first part called as CPU. CPU is nothing but your central processing unit. It is the heart of your computer. This will serve all your instructions that you are giving to your CPU. For example, you are planning to play a game. Now, to play a game, this is one task that your computer has to perform. Now, who actually performs is nothing but your CPU. Okay, there are various companies which will produce this CPU, like for example, Intel or AMD. They are masters in producing this CPU. Now, when we are talking about CPU, it does nothing but it's performing your actual task. So the better the CPU or the faster the CPU, the faster your task will be performed. So whenever you are buying any laptop or a mobile phone, you have to see whether your CPU is good or not. Normally, Intel i7, i9, they have good CPUs. Then CPU also have this concept of cores. Now, what is the core? One core can perform one task at a time, at a given point of time. So when I'm saying a dual core, which means it has two cores, quad core has four cores, octa core has eight cores, and so on. So dual core, which means it can perform at the particular time two tasks. Quad core means it can perform four tasks simultaneously. So that's the core. Now, when we spoke about the main part, we spoke about the heart of the computer, which is CPU. But CPU will have to take some help. So it will take help from data storage part, which is the memory part. Computer's memory is mainly divided into two parts, primary and secondary. Primary memory will have RAM and ROM. Let's speak about something on ROM first, which is read-only memory, which is a permanent memory which is storing your booting information. Now, what do you mean by booting information is whenever your machine starts, when you click on the on button, the operating system gets loaded, the software gets loaded and your machine starts. Now, this entire software which has to get loaded when you press your button is nothing but stored in your ROM. So it does the startup work. So there is one more type of memory called as cache memory. It's a very small memory, about 2 to 4 MB, and it is closer to CPU. So it stores active data. The data which is being used frequently by the CPU is being stored here. And since it is small, it is going to access it faster. So for faster access, we have cache memory. There are two types of cache, L1 and L2 cache. Another type of storage that we have today is called as cloud storage. Now, primary memory may be internal, or we have external memory, which is secondary memory. But now we use this something called as cloud memory. We use iCloud, or we use some drives where our data is stored. Now this is somewhere in the server on internet. Our data is stored permanently and we can access it from anywhere, any part of the world at any point of time. So it is very advantage, but at the same time it comes with some cost. So some companies will offer free cloud data for some few MBs or GBs, and after that we'll have to pay for such kind of storage. Now, talking about the last part is operating system. Now we know that we have the machine which has input, output devices and the processing unit with the memory, but who will take care of all these things? A software called as operating system. We all know that Windows operating system exists, Mac operating system exists, Unix, Linux. There are a lot of operating system, Android, iOS. These are all examples of one operating system. But what actually they do? They serve as a platform between the hardware and the software. They basically enable your hardware. Without operating system, your hardware is of no use. So this operating system takes care of functions like providing a user interface to you where you can access your files, your folders, you can do your application work. Okay, you can run your application because the memory allocation part and the processing speed allocation part is been with operating system. Plus it has a lot of utility activities like your cleanups, your firewalls, your antiviruses, which are inbuilt today in any operating system. It controls all your computer hardware. How much to allocate to which particular application is with OS. Now there are various OS as I mentioned, but they are basically categorized into two categories: command line interface and graphical user interface. Command line interface is seen like such a screen where you have to type in command for everything. Like for example, if I want to move a folder or a file from one folder to another folder, I have to write a command like move file ABC from folder this to folder this. So mostly programmers use this kind of interface. It is faster, it is more secured, more safe. Unix operating system is an example for this kind of operating system. But we today are more used to operating system which has graphics like icons, folder icons and all this, toolbars, menu and all, which is a graphical user interface. An example is Windows OS, Mac OS, Android, everything will have now interface. So this is another type of operating system. Thank you. If you have anything with related to IGCSE Computer Science, you can always contact us. Our number is 977 3088 112. Thank you.